Okay, you said ditch the resume. I was shocked, and I'm going to make you defend that. Ditch the resume.
I think resumes are outdated. Resumes should be more like a portfolio. It should not be your entire job history. It should be the highlights. And if you're
Isn't that what it is anyway?
No,
and you mean no chronological history? No chronological? That's crazy talk.
I agree with Animal.
No. Recruiters want the chronology. Recruiters want the chronology, definitely. What I'm saying is,
hiring managers.
But they rarely read it. They really only want to see the companies and how long you've been there. They really don't.
But don't you think, like I always tell these candidates, I'm like, clients want to see. They don't care about all the crap you put on there. You got to boil it down to bullets and say for sales guys like us, like Mike and I, what you sold, who you sold, and how you did.
That's exactly right. You don't need a paragraph about your job at all because unless it's full of keywords, the ATS isn't going to see it and doesn't care about it, and it's not going to translate well anyway.
So it's a bullet point of accomplishments.
That's correct.
That's all it should be. Because no one reads it. You got 3 seconds, 6 seconds tops to read a resume.
The traditional resume is ridiculous.
Yeah.
In tech, for instance, no one cares about.
And the other thing too is everybody sends out the same resume to everybody. And you got
No, they don't.
Well, most people do. If you ask them, did you send this resume out to your 3 other employer prospects? They'll say, yeah.
That's been changing.
No, people who are smart are learning that they should personalize a resume.
That's the problem right there. Most people aren't smart.
I knew that was coming.
People, can you explain the smart people?
Yeah, and where do we find them?
I know that's true because Craig is a guy who deals with corporations, okay? And he disagreed with Amy. He said, these guys are not smart. If he's got the guts to say that, that means something to me, okay?
On LinkedIn, you put that as a skill.
So hold up. Hey, Craig, so what's replacing the resume in your mind? We remove the antiquated equation from antiquated resume from the equation. What replaces that I can consume quickly?
Yeah, no, it's the list of highlights in chronological order. Just as Rich said, with what you sold, how much you sold.
That's a resume, okay?
Sorry,
Craig. Let me tell you, that's a resume. That's a resume.
It is a slimmed down resume. It doesn't have all the. It's a modern resume, is what I would call it for Craig. It's not the traditional. Let me, pontificate on all this great stuff I've done. Instead, I'm just going to show you the bulleted highlights.
Okay. Yeah, it's half a page.
Yeah.
It's an achievement.
But then don't they want that related to a company, though?
I was wondering on a resume,
put links in there.
Giving your sales figures out, is that not?
Oh, absolutely. The more numbers, the better for your sales.
Yeah.
I always tell you want your resume to be more numbers than words. I mean, without being a math problem.
That's right. With no exposition.
No, I got a question. I have a
history, dates, titles, companies. That serves a purpose.
And we'll wait for your own show.
Quantified, absolutely.
That's all Amazon wants, actually. If you've ever interviewed with Amazon, they really only want numbers.
Yep.
And by the way, I'll have conversations with sales reps that'll say, I'm more than a resume. I actually posted about this because it happened to me last week, talking to a great candidate, and he says, wait a minute, okay, fine, I'll send you the resume, but I'm so much more than that. Absolutely. And then we get into the question. It's like, why do I have to answer all of these questions? Yeah. It's on my resume.
So I got recruited to a tech company in 2015 to be a TA leader and do their employer branding and recruitment marketing stuff. And I was a global leader, and they recruited me. They found me on Google because I came up high in search results for employer brand strategy, Dallas, Texas. They recruited me, and then they said, send us a resume. And I sent them an infographic. It wasn't a resume. It was an infographic about Craig, and they loved it. And I got the job. And so I'm just saying that there are other ways.
Yeah, Craig, you would like Craig, you know what you'd like? You ever see the site Who Knows? WhoKnows.com? They make an infographic about all your stuff. It's like the modern resume, to your point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's cool.
I've got a question. What's the difference between like a resume and a recruiter write-up?
My write-ups are four lines. So
yeah.
And what does that say different than what a candidate should have said on their resume?
It's just
recruiter write-up is just
focus on the numbers, probably.
Yeah.
Focus on exactly what the client wants to hear.
A recruiter write-up is good. Yeah, it's good. It's good, but usually it's a complement to the resume. You don't have to replace the info. You assume that certain information is already there.